number one fear I hear from business owners when it comes to using AI in their client delivery is, won't it make everything feel robotic? Won't my clients be able to tell? And honestly, if you use it wrong, yeah, it will cause damage. And you've also got to take into account the difference between use and abuse. And I have seen this firsthand. This is not about it replacing your relationship and your human connection and your human intuition. But wow, can you use this intelligence and use these systems to improve the service for them, to build the brain, the knowledge base, the actions, the structures, not only to give them a 10 times better service to get 10 times better results, but also for you to have more efficiency to work with more people and help more people, right? And that is what I'm going to be covering today. So there's this underlying sense of, oh no, like it's not really this or it's not really that, and it's just a machine, it's robotic, right? And it's the fastest way to erode trust, 100%. If someone's paying you for a service and you're running it straight through ChatGPT, which has got no knowledge base, no structure, no anything, right? And that's the only thing that you're giving people back is ChatGPT responses, then yeah, AI without question, right? It will damage your client delivery and trust that you have with people. Right, but it's a false choice to go down that route. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I use AI with my client delivery, with my Smart Scaling Group program, with my Titan clients, and pretty much how I build out individual project spaces, reporting, code, and basically show you what I do and what type of high-level structures this stuff can actually provide to you, right? So this system is more consistent, it is more thorough, it's more personalized than I would have ever possibly been able to do before, genuinely, right? So stick with me on this one, because by the end of this video you're going to understand exactly how you can build and use these type of systems for actually your client delivery to improve stuff for them, but also improve stuff for you as well. I think a lot of business owners, right, have tried AI with delivery and it's gone really wrong, and then they've basically just written it off entirely, right? And I don't blame them in any way, shape or form. Blad AI client delivery looks like this, right? You're using ChatGPT, you sign up a new client, you stick their information into it, you then send them the assets and resources and follow-ups, and it spits out the generic corporate rubbish, lifeless, dear Sarah, thanks for this or thanks for that, and clients can pick it up straight away, right? And you read it and straight away you're like, well, that's not me at all, that doesn't sound like me, so I'm just going to give up on even attempting to use this stuff for that, right? And Sarah's going to receive that same thing and be like, well, this is just AI generated ChatGPT rubbish, so I'm not going to be doing it, right? One of the first things that I say to people is, if you are using AI within your client delivery, let clients know, right? Also, they will see what you are going to do and how you can train the system. And when you actually explain to people that these AI systems and this intelligence will become more trained on them over time, and you're still going to do all of these structures and all of the guidance and all the follow-up from you personally, like, what client's not going to say no to that? You've not only got a human coach, consultant, service provider or business owner, but you've then also got an intelligent system that comes with it just as a bonus, and it's a win-win for you and them, right? So most people are using AI without giving him any type of context about how they communicate, what makes their delivery unique, no frameworks, no structures, no nothing, and just slamming stuff into it and then expecting it to come back with a world-class service. Like, that is not how you do that. So if you are doing that, like, just stop using AI and make sure that you understand how to actually train it properly. So the first fix is to actually train your AI system on everything to do with you, your delivery, your beliefs, your speaking styles, and everything else. And then from that point, you can then insert a snapshot and an overview and knowledge on that specific client. You can set up projects. You can do this on coding. You can do this with reporting. You can extract Google forms. You can basically pull any kind of information from it, right? But the main thing that we need to get to a point of going is, even if the client is aware that you are using an AI system for supporting, you want to get to a point where it's still speaking exactly like you. So you need to be using your transcripts, your knowledge, and everything else. So for example, my AI systems, this is no joke, they are built on over 300,000 words of transcripts. So when I'm not only prompting the system based on exactly what I want it to do myself with human intuition and human skills, they are also tapping into 10 years worth of decades of information, of transcripts, of knowledge, of frameworks, of stuff that I might not even have inside my program anymore. And they've got access to all of that. So once you've got your transcripts and you've got your knowledge base for you, and you've got your knowledge base for them, the next thing from that point is to focus on the actual process, right? AI needs to understand your delivery frameworks, right? So when a sign up happens or when onboarding happens, like what type of framework do you have in place for that structure? And if you don't have the actual framework in place, then get AI to create the framework which you are happy with to then insert it into it. So this could be reporting, this could be milestone. Like I did this the other day with a coach who was doing stuff on Garmin and high level, and how you can expect the Garmin report to pull out reports, and his mind were blown. Like it's something that he could have never done before, right? Number 3 from that point after the process is to look at context, right? Every client is different, right? They have different goals, they have different starting points, different challenges, different communication preferences. So your AI system will treat them all as the same. Whereas if you've got individual co-work or project bases or context and information on that specific client, the AI will 100% use the context of that person. So for me, when it comes to my smart scaling group, I have a folder system which saves all of everyone's previous reports into one space. So when they submit the end of month reports, it not only pulls on their new information submitted from Google form, but then it actually attracts and attaches to what's been previously said. And that's just for my group program, because I can do that now. I can provide high level one-to-one business reporting for people who are on a group program within my enterprise ecosystem. Whereas for my Titan clients, I've got all of their unique IP saved inside of a Google Drive. So whenever it works on a client's business, it's only working on specific IP and information to that client and my knowledge as well. So you see what I mean? It's like once you create these structures, like it will blow your mind what you can do for clients, right? So for example, like my writing style is like short sentences, it is conversational, it is direct, like even Yorkshire dialect, like there's no corporate language, as you've probably seen, there's no filler phrases, right? So I will make sure that when the AI is speaking, it's giving the direction and feedback exactly the same as what I would. Because even if the client knows that it's an AI system giving the report, they're still paying the founder or the person for guidance from them. So I make sure it speaks like me, acts like me, and I also prompt and iterate and give guidance on every single thing that I do. Like I did a prompt this morning on code for a client. It was something like 1,500 words that I use on Whisperflow to describe exactly what I want the system to do for someone. Right, so these kind of distinctions really matter, right? Because AI is brilliant at following the rules, right? It's brilliant at giving and following clear examples, right? The problem is, right, the people just don't give them the examples. People just don't give it context. They want the system to support them with client fulfillment and getting more results in whatever business and market that you are in, but they're not actually training it on what the client needs, what the background is, what the offer is, what the brand identity is, what the targets are, what the results, right? And what you've got to take into account is, it's faster to do it myself. It's not. Like all you need to do is make sure that you've got frameworks and processes for information to extract from your client, which you will 100% be able to see on screen, and I will show you. From that point, right, that space is then trained on that client, and every time that they submit new information and new elements, the AI system will be able to get more and more trained over time. So I used to basically have to go through like every single email, every single follow-up report, every single structure, all manually. Like, and I'll be honest, like I would probably give 5% of the value back then compared to the 100% of value that I can provide now with using AI to support me with the actual intelligence and the follow-up, right? So if I went into like my Claude project and said, right, here is a client, there is their business consultation, this is the overview, this is the deep discovery, I'll show you this on screen, right? All I then need to do from that point is get the client to complete that information with Whisperflow so it's faster for them, and then I can submit that into my own projects, which is going to use all of their information, even on that initial discovery, to start training that initial project, right? From that point, I can then look at onboarding systems, I can then look at the gaps that they need inside the business, and that space already, just based on using that chat, having the instructions set up, and also the knowledge base. Every time I keep going back to that project or that section in co-work, or I do most of my stuff on code now, it's going to get more trained on that client from the onset. So once you've got that, and genuinely, if you've got that initial onboarding form and process, you will be able to compound everything on top of that. Anytime that they submit a big message, anytime that they submit a big report, you can keep training the knowledge base, keep training the brain, right? And what you'll find is just that over time, like AI just compounds, it becomes better, it just becomes more higher value as you start to come through. And from a client's perspective, like when they're getting absolutely world-class level responses because The AI intelligence system can do the thinking and do the intelligence for you, and then you've got 10% focused on critical refinement and execution of it. Like, they're going to be mind blown, right? Because you're a human being. You've only got so much time. You've only got so much headspace. You've only got so much effort. So like for me, like when people are slandering, saying you shouldn't be using AI for client delivery, I'm like, well, you've not set it up properly, because I use AI in terms of client delivery for every single client that I have. We have hundreds of clients. Every single client will go through my AI intelligence systems, and if you went and asked any of them, what is it like now compared to what it was like 12 months ago? Like the level of support, the speed of responses, the detailed responses, the rate that I can improve my program, the problems that I can solve for people, like I can do it in seconds now and weeks, and I can support my members on a level which I know that they will not be able to find elsewhere, right? So what I want you to start doing is, right, when you are looking at your AI system, start to think about what type of frameworks can I put in place, right? Start thinking about what are the actual phases that I take a client through. So people often think that this is just about like coaching, or it's just about consulting, or just about being a service provider. Like I, for example, have a multi-7-figure kitchen company, and the first thing that I'm asking them to do is to build out the step-by-step customer journey that they take the client on from a quote to a completion of a job. Because once I've got that step-by-step customer journey, I can then use AI to run analysis on it, on where AI can actually support that process to make it faster, more efficient, more targeted, more direct, and getting straight to the point of quote, build, in, rotation, and coming through. There's not a single business that this doesn't work for. Whether you are in constructing, you are in coaching, you are in marketing, you are in B2B, like client delivery is in many different shapes and formats, right? And that for me is like the biggest thing that I love about all of this. Like the more context that you give it, the more information, the more frameworks, the more processes, the better that it becomes. You can feed it clients' data, the metrics, the milestones. And when you look back and think, how long did it take you to quote that job, or how long did it take you to run all the metrics and the assessments on that client? It'll take you hours, weeks, or you might even not even be doing it at the moment because you ain't got the capability to be able to interpret data from sheets or on apps, or like I said the other day, I did this with someone on Garmin, right? And this is where it gets really powerful, right? Because this is beyond communication, right? I've used this system to build out custom resources, deliverables for clients. I've built out the copy and paste SOP systems for running Claude and different AI systems that would be over £100,000 a month in staff wages. I've built out management sheets, organization sheets, content management system sheets, meta ads intelligence sheets, and this is just on a project and a co-work level. And again, down the line, when I feel like people are ready to start actually adopting to it, I will 100% start teaching you and showing you what you can do on code, right? But what would normally take me like, I don't know, 2 hours to do for a client, or maybe even more, what would normally take me 6 hours to do for a single client at a high level project, I can do it in 5 minutes now. And what the client receives from me is 1,000 times better than I ever would have been able to do. Why? Because I only had so much capacity, I only had so much time, I only had so much energy, right? They're not getting anything generic, right? They are getting high level, personalized, reference, structures, details. Like I literally run clients' businesses for them now in their own language, not only just on their IP, but I will run a client's account and a client's business as a done for you service with my Titans program, where I can do everything for them. That is how crazy this stuff is, right? So all I want you to do, right, is slowly get to a point of thinking, well, I'm just going to start testing and trialing some things, right? Start by setting up one project in Claude for a client. Input all of their historical check-ins, input their data, right? Input information about who they are and what they are, what type, the preferences that they've got. Like the customization that you can do to projects is like nothing that I have ever seen before. Genuinely, I've got people who've got it from quote generators for colouring and wrapping multi-7-figure, multi-million-pound yachts. I've got projects where people are doing like diet generators in terms of a fitness client. Like that is where the fun part is with AI. It's what you can actually do for your offer. It is what you can do for your business. Like, I didn't build, as you've seen on my YouTube, and hopefully with all these I'll start to grow a lot more subscribers, but I didn't grow a multi-7-figure company off going viral on YouTube or going viral on Instagram, right? I always had that mindset of going, I'm never going to stop adopting and improving and innovating my offer and my program to give people better solutions to get better results, right? That is all I've lived and breathed for the last 12 years of doing this. And before, I used to do it still, but it'd take me 6 to 12 months to do a big massive development. Whereas now, I could literally click my fingers and rebuild everything that I have done in my entire 12-month career and delivered to clients within 7 days. That is not a joke. I literally 100% could do that. So my main objective now is like, how do I make this as easy and seamless and effortless for people as humanly possible? So that is why I've built the Claude and Co-work, which runs at, again, over 100 grand a month in staff wages, as copy and paste SOPs, because people are concerned about their ability and tech skills, right? And that's not the case in any way, shape or form, right? And the thing that when you're looking at client delivery, guys, is like, you think, how much can you remember? How much can you remember about a single client? If you work with a client for 12 months and you have the conversations, you have the check-ins, you have the structures, how much can you honestly, truly remember about what that client has said? Right, it's going to be quite slim because you're a human being. Now think about building an intelligence system that remembers every single thing about every single client that you work with, alongside where you can train it more based on inputting more data into it, right? Now that is a client delivery system. This is not about this coming in and replacing you. This is not about putting a chatbot in to replace you communicating with clients. I still reply to upwards of 80 to 100 school DM messages, WhatsApp messages and emails every single day in my time blocks, if you look at my previous video, right? Because they are asking a perspective from me. Now, sometimes do I lean into AI to support me to articulate that? Yeah, 100%. But I don't remove the human element from the actual client delivery. And I think that is a place where a lot of people will get stuck in this next era, is they will try and rush and run before they can walk, right? If you've adopted in your client base and your client delivery system is done at serious high level and people have got awareness and understanding and they're quite receptive to AI, can you 100% go fully automated in the future? Yeah, I truly believe you can. But for the time being, change your perspective on what AI can do, right? It's not going to make you robotic. It is not going to put clients off, right? It is here to make your intelligence system and your delivery running at a level that was never ever humanly possible before, because you are a human being, right? So what we do at the Coach Consultant, guys, is literally all of this times 1 million more. Like, for me, where I stand in the market at the moment is you've got two different options. Option number one, right, and it's not really an option either or, but you need to build a personal brand. Like, genuine, like, if you think about what you can do with AI now and everything that we're speaking about here, information is no longer valuable. What people will be buying into is who you are as a person. So people always say, well, how are you so pro AI but also pro personal brand at the same time? I'm pro whatever gets results. I'm pro whatever makes sense. I'm pro when I'm looking at actual common sense. So if we've got AI generated online content, right, then I'm 100% going to lean into personal branding to stand out in the market. And that's why I teach that heavily. It's part of our live course structure, part of our courses, and probably one of the biggest topics that I have a discussion per week. But then from that point, you've got option number two, where you either adopt AI or you don't adopt AI. You are not going to be replaced by AI. But if you looked and saw what I'm doing on these YouTube videos, what I'm talking about, how can you compete with that? How can you compete with it? I can't. Nobody can. So the difference between winners and losers won't be AI replacing human beings. For most people who watch these videos, because you're a coach, consultant, service provider, or a business owner, and it's important and it's built around you, probably as a founder-led brand as well, even if it is a business to a just consumer-style product, it's going to come back down to you. So what I want you to think about here is, are you going to be that person who will be replaced by someone who isn't as talented, hasn't worked as hard, hasn't got the same experience as you, just because they adopted to AI and learned how to do all of this stuff a lot faster than you? because that is the one thing that will happen. AI will enable you to stop guessing. AI will create predictability for content acquisition and sales, which has never ever been seen before, and I do this every single day, guys. So if you want more information on our program, go to the description in my bio underneath this video, hit the top link, and then you can put an application in to see if we're the right fit. I really hope that we do, and I really hope at some point down the line I see you inside my program to help you one-to-one with this.